Alright, today I'm gonna try something new, and that's just talking here with something I have been thinking about lately a lot. And yeah, just talking. I try to pack my thoughts tight, but looks like it's gonna take a while, and it also gets a little bit emotional later. I cry really rarely, but last Sunday morning when I was writing this, it really opened my waterworks. And yeah, it's now Friday, so I think I can keep my shit together today. I also never sweat without any reason, but last Sunday I was sweating like crazy also. So I guess this is also some kind of therapy session for me. Okay, so first of all, I have a lot in my mind, and I mean a lot. But this one thing especially has been really bothering me lately, actually pretty long time, and that is the education system we have, you know, this public school. Not so light topic to start, but let's start with it anyway. And disclaimer, everything I say is just my opinions and my thoughts. Feel free to disagree, and I would love to chat with you in the comments later if you have anything in your mind about this topic. I really would like to hear you out as you hear me out right here, right now. So it's a little bit like balancing each other. So have you noticed how much, for example, cars have evolved lately? And it's not actually so long ago when people used to use horses and carriages to get from point A to point B, and now we have these electric cars and stuff. So there has been a lot progress in that area. And then there's phones. I don't know if you remember these wired phones. You had this handle where you speak, and that's wired in this another unit, which is the phone, and that was like wired on the wall plug. And now we can speak with the hands-free in this moving car, you know, without any wires. So there's been quite a lot progress on that area also. So it's pretty crazy how some stuff have evolved a lot in just a few decades or 5 or so. But then there's this one thing which hasn't evolved almost at all. And that's the schooling system we have, you know, the public schools where the kids go daily. Of course, no one have to ski anymore to school or horseback ride, or so a lot of this practical stuff has evolved, but there's still the same principles going on which were like 100 years ago. So there is this one person in front of the class sharing the same package to all of them, to all the kids. They are sitting in a row and they have to raise their hand if they want to speak. And this one person in front of the class decides who gets to speak and who doesn't get to speak. So this is like exactly the same that it has been like, I'm gonna say like 100 years. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but you know, like a very long time. And for practical reasons, I understand why it just maybe has to be that way. But think what would happen if every kid who has something to say gets to speak, gets to share their opinions and their truths to everyone. But what really makes me sick, and looks like it's making the kids, many of them, sick too, is the same grading system. So kids are being put in this betterness order just by how good they are memorize stuff or solve complex formulas. Not, for example, how they treat each other. Yeah, there might be some prizes once a year for nicest pal, but as far as I know, there's no room for being like a good human in the curriculum. So think about what kind of world we would have if the kids would be put in a betterness order by how nice they treat each other, and got extra points for helping weaker learners. Another thing is the content they are being taught. So it's pretty much the same package for everyone, as like they would all be like same kind. They're not. So instead of treating them as unique individuals, they are just being put in the same mold than others. So think about what kind of kids would come out from school if they were given a chance from the first grade to choose more subjects that they are interested in. For example, here where we live, there's only 1 hour sports in 1 week. And if you are really interested and apply and be super lucky to be chosen to this special group, sports group, you are gonna get whole another hour of sports in 1 week. So it's like 2 in total. And this lack of sports in schools is totally whole another topic, but let's stay on track here now. Think about what would happen if it would be like no one would be pressured to get good grades for appreciation and praise, and to make them believe that that's like the only possibility to really be successful in life later on. So this is just my vision, but I would say the outcome would be much more diverse and colorful. Outcome would be kids with much more stronger individual strengths. Outcome would be much more experts than this normal labor, which we don't need so much anymore thanks to robots and assembly lines. And outcome would be kids with much more compassion towards each other, and most importantly towards themselves. So what do you think? Of course, this is like a really narrow take on this whole picture, but still it's something to get started with. Thanks for watching this far already. It really means a lot. So here's a little story from my school years, which has actually affected of my whole life since then. And I actually realized that only a few years ago when I first talked about this, like really talked about this to anyone. And fortunately, that was my wife, and she really helped me to see the new angle of me. So I am I'm pretty sure I'm 43 years old right now, and this happened, I think, somewhere when I was 13-ish, and so it's been like 30 years. Just a small incident, just a small situation, and yeah, it's crazy how much these things can affect, like this has affected to me. So here it goes. I wasn't very good in school in average. If I lacked motivation, if I didn't have the reason, why I should learn this. I just didn't learn it. But in the few things I was very interested in back then, I really did well. I don't remember much from the elementary school, just a couple of flashes. And this one, however, has stuck in my memory until this day. Maybe it was the end of the semester or something. We were there in the corridor. My parents, my teacher, and me few meters in the side, but still hearing what they talked about. Maybe my teacher was talking also about a lot of good things about me, which my strengths were and which subjects I thrived. But somehow, only thing I remember her saying to my parents that Henrik is a slacker. And it didn't help hearing about this again at home when my parents said how embarrassed they were that they had to hear that. And that really hit hard. I felt so embarrassed. I knew I didn't do well in history nor many other subjects. But hearing my teacher, I thought much of, saying aloud to my parents that I was a slacker, really got drilled in my 13-ish year old head. 4 decades until a few years back, when we had a deep talk with my wife on how and why I had been so driven with running my businesses and had always had so many other hobbies and interests on the side. And they were there just to prove that I'm not a slacker. I'm not. My teacher, she had no idea of my custom slingshot I had created out of pliers, paintball tubes and hockey tape, or ninja throwing stars I had sawed by hand out of sheet metal, or those moments after school when I tried to teach my friend self-defense skills against some dumbasses who were bullying him for looking a bit different than others. No, I wasn't so talented in school subjects, but I was very talented, creative and active otherwise. Yet, still she said I was a slacker, and I believed it. But I'm so grateful that it happened. Maybe it was meant to happen for me to grow to this strong person I am today. I don't know, but I really hope this helps someone who has or will face the same situation one day. Just remember, you are not what others think of you. You are so much more. No one knows you, like really knows you. People, they many times they confuse their perception of someone to be the absolute truth of someone. It's only their perception. Many times mixed with their own insecurities, doubts and demons. So don't judge anyone, don't blame anyone. We are all just humans on the surface on this earth. Take in everything you are given, reflect and transmute it to your own good, to your own growth. You are awesome. Be proud of who you are. I wish someone would have told me this when I was a kid. But I'm telling you, even if you're not a kid, even if you're 20s, 30s, whatever, just be proud of who you are. So yeah, this was my story. And you can hit like if you want. I don't really care for that, but I would really appreciate if you hit me a comment if you have anything to say, to discuss. If you agree, if you disagree, everything is more than welcome. Yeah. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching all the way in the end, and have an awesome day, and see you in the next video. Bye.